Hello, friends. Welcome in. I hope your day has gone well. Now it's time to sit back and relax. Today we are playing a game called Balatro. Balatro is a hypnotically satisfying deck builder roguelike game with the objective of building poker hands to win chips. As you play, you are able to obtain jokers and other special cards that give better rewards and multipliers that you want to make combos with to win and progress. I hope you find this as satisfying as I do, and without further ado, we will go ahead and begin. So, as you will see here, this is obviously not the first time I've played this. I have a few hours in the game already. I discovered the game a while ago by watching one of my favorite gaming YouTubers and listening to their discussion about it, and decided to give it a try. It's very similar and actually developed by the developers of Slay the Spire, which is another deck builder roguelike that I really enjoyed. But I've gone through and been able to actually level up and win a few different runs. I've won three, actually. No, I've won three different runs. And each time you win a run, you unlock another level of difficulty. And you also can play with different decks. So the first deck you get, the red deck, the effect is that you get one extra discard every round. And then at the white stake level difficulty, there's no positive or negative effects. That's just the base level difficulty. But what I've actually been playing with mostly is the blue deck. And the blue deck gives you +1 hand every round. And every round, to explain what this means, you have your hand count and your discard count. I don't remember the exact numbers, but we'll just say I think the base level is 4 and 4. And so with 4 hands, that means you have 4 times to play a hand to score chips. And within those 4 hands, you have to be able to win enough chips to advance to the next level, or you lose. The discards you also get to be able to just discard and skip. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page. So I definitely prefer the blue deck. I prefer having the extra hand. I've found it to be quite a bit more useful. And I have so far won on the white stake, the red stake, the green stake, and I'm now on the black stake. And so for each of these stakes, the effects actually stack. So since I'm on the black stake, the effects of the red and the green are in play. So the small blind gives no reward money. The required score scales faster for each ante, and the shop can have eternal jokers, which are jokers that can't be sold or destroyed. So we're just going to go ahead and start from here. Make sure I'm doing a new run, and let's get into it. So each round you have 3 blinds to go through. The small blind, the big blind, and the boss blind. Small blind is 300, big blind is 450, and the boss blind is 600. And that's how many chips you need for each to be able to beat it. That's what you're trying to do, is you're trying to beat the blind. So we're going to start at the small blind. For those that don't know poker, it actually gives you a very handy list of all the possible poker hands. You got the high card, the pair, the 2 pair, the 3 of a kind, the straight, the flush, the full house, the 4 of a kind, and the straight flush. As you see here, they all have these numbers, and what these mean is that if you play a card, or if you play a hand that only has a high card in it, your base level chips is 5 chips times 1. So you have your chip count in blue and your multiplier count in red. And as you go up, those increase. So to start off with, I see that we have 2 pair. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to use my discard, and I'm going to discard the 4, the 5, the 9, and the jack. And I'm going to keep the 8 and the 3s. And what I'm trying to do is I'm hoping to get another 3 or another 8 to make a full house, because that'll give me a much higher reward to start off with. And I did just that, so I'm going to go ahead and play the full house. And each card also has their own rewards. So like the ace gives you plus 11 chips, etc., etc. And as you go, you'll unlock different cards that give you different rewards. Like some cards will give you multiplier, some cards will give you multiplied multipliers, and things like that. So now I'm looking and I'm not seeing, I see 1 pair, which is good and actually does give us enough to beat the blind, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. If it wasn't enough to beat the blind, I would probably aim for the flush, which is 5 of the same suit. But since the pair is enough, I'll just go ahead and play that. I love all of the sound effects of this game. it already scratches such an itch in my brain um, to be gambling. I admittedly do enjoy gambling, um, but it is a very bad habit, and so I try my best not to do it. And a game like this allows me to scratch that itch and stay out of the casino. Um, Kids, I do not recommend gambling. um, but also just the sound effects of the cards and the chips and like the dots when they came down, I find very satisfying. And then whenever you beat a blind, you get cash. And it breaks it down here what you're getting cash for. So since I had 3 hands remaining, I get $1 each. And so that's one of the reasons why I prefer to play with the blue deck that gives me a guaranteed 1 extra hand. Because it's nice to get that extra cash, and you'll see why. Now we are in the shop, and this is arguably the most important part of the game, and it is where you will either make or break your runs, because these are jokers, and each one basically is an effect on the rest of your game while you have that joker. So like this one, the Jolly Joker, gives +8 mult if played hand contains a pair. So basically, if I played a hand that contained a pair, I would get the 10 chips base as well as the 2 multiplier based. But because of that joker, I would get an extra 8 multiplier on top of that. And the best way I've found to play the game to get the furthest is to play primarily from my jokers. So rather than trying to level up my hands, I try to combo my jokers so that they do most of the work for me. There's a certain combination of jokers that if you get the right ones, which it is largely based on RNG and luck, but if you can chain together the right combination of jokers, the primary feeder of your points isn't actually the hands you play, it's those jokers. So my goal is to get there's one joker specifically that you really need to be able to make that strategy work. And it is a joker that gives you plus multiplier for every, no. It gives you multiplier equal to the number of times you've played that hand the entire run. So each time you play a pair, if you play another pair, it would give you 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. multiplier. And that is the most OP joker in the game by far. Because if you get it early enough and you use it and just play high card and pair, which you actually are with high card, guaranteed to always be able to play that hand. By middle and late game, just playing pair, you'll be able to have hundreds of multiplier. So that is a very, very powerful card. Right now I'm just going to go with Dusk, retrigger all played cards in the final hand of round. It's better than nothing. I'm probably going to try to exchange it though. I'll probably end up selling it once I have a card that can replace it. Like I said, it's very RNG based to get the cards that we need. Right off the bat though, we do have a straight, so let's go ahead and play that. And that gets us actually very close to our goal. We do now have another straight potentially with 7, 8, 9, and Jack. If we got a 10, that would make a straight. So it is tempting to actually try to do that. So we're going to take the other 4 cards and discard them, and we got what we were hoping for. And we actually got one better, because you'll notice that the lower value cards give less chips, and so we really want face cards and high valued non-face cards. So we're going to do the queen, the jack, the 10, the 9, and the 8, and we won't use the 7. And that right there is more than enough to get us the win. And another $7. We don't have a booster pack that will give us jokers. Like these standard packs, they just give you more playing cards, which can be cool, but not really what I want or need. And then the planet packs give you planet cards that can be used to actually level up your hands so that they have a better base reward. But with the strategy that I'm going for, I want to save my money and use it to get the jokers that I want. Because with my strategy, these don't really matter. It's all in the jokers. So we're just going to go ahead and go straight to the boss blind and just not buy anything. We'll save our money. Now with this boss blind, all diamond cards will be debuffed. What that means is the rewards on the cards themselves are not counted. So, for instance, if I were to play this 6, I would get only the base level rewards. I wouldn't get the chips that the 6 would normally reward. Let's see, what do we have? We do actually have 3 of a kind, and that's not a bad hand. So we're going to go ahead and play that, and it also gets that useless card out of the way. Not a great scoring hand, but for the beginning of the game, it's not horrible. Now, we're looking at a 3, a 4, a 5, a 7, an 8, a jack, and a king and an ace. So on both sides, we have 3 to a straight. I would very much so like to get the straight over here. So I'm going to go ahead and discard these 5 cards and keep these 3. And I did not get my straight, and I didn't get any closer. Not really. So I think I'm going to abandon the straight and actually go for a full house. I did not get my full house, but I'm going to try again. I'll keep the 2 jacks and the 2 kings and try to get another of either to make a full house. And we did just that. That gets us much closer to our 600 that we need. Now what do we have? Not much of anything. We don't even have a pair. Let's sort it by suit. We do have 4 hearts. So we only need 1 more heart to make a flush, which would be a good hand. So we'll go ahead and try for that. Now that I'm out of discards, to be able to discard, I have to play. But remember, once you run out of hands, you're out. So thankfully we got our flush in time. And this should be enough to beat this blind. And it was indeed. And we got $8. Let's see. I don't like that joker. That's not one we need. And once again, we don't have a joker pack. So we are going to save our money and go to the next round. Now we are on ante 2 of 8. And the ante is the 3 blinds. So each time we beat the boss blind, our ante goes up and they get progressively more difficult to beat. Alright. Sorting by rank, I see that we actually have a full house right off the bat. That gets us a third of the way there. That is a very nice first hand. So I'm going to go ahead. I have trip 3s. So I'm going to make a gamble and discard the other 5 cards and hopefully get another pair to make another full house. And I did. Very nice. Now, because those were lower value cards, I didn't get as much for it, but it was still a good hand. Let's see, what do we have now? Let me just refresh my memory. A flush is actually better than a straight. So with that in mind, I'm going to sort by suit and try to get a flush with these spades. So we'll discard the rest and we'll just keep the spades. Unfortunately, we didn't get another spade. By hovering over our deck and clicking on it, we can see what has not been drawn yet. So we actually don't have that many spades left. We do, well, I guess we do have a good amount considering. So I think it's worth trying one more time to get spades. Oof, that definitely hurt. That definitely hurt. Now let me reconsider. Maybe a straight would be easier. Because right now I am 2 away from a flush. I would need 2 more spades. But with the 8, the 9, the 10, and the queen, I only need 1 jack to get a straight. So that might be worth it. I think that's what I'll do, is I'll aim for the straight. Actually, wait. Let's look at it by rank. I've got 2 queens, 2 tens, and 2 fours. Looking at this quick menu, let's see how many queens I've left. 0, so I can't draw more queens. We have 3 more chances to draw a jack. There's 3 more left. Let's see. How many tens? 2. And we have 2 fours. I wonder if it might be worth getting trying to go for a full house. It very well could be. If I keep just the fours and just the tens, it's a pretty good chance that I'll get a full house. And a full house is worth more than a straight. So I think that's what I'll do. It's a bit of a gamble. I would have a better chance of getting that jack, considering there's 4 of them left in the deck. But I'm going to try for the full house. I just need a 10 or a 4. Ooh, and I did get it, surprisingly. Not at all in the way I expected, but I did get it. And that was enough. Oh, I forgot we had our dusk card. That didn't come into play this round, or that game. It hasn't come into play yet. But basically, when you play your last hand, so if we had played 1 more, it would re-trigger all the cards and basically score them double, which could have been useful had I had to do another one. I'm tempted to get DNA. It's not a bad card per se. It's not super useful for the final combination I'm aiming for, but it could be useful in general. It's a tough decision. It's a lot. It's $8. It's an expensive card. I don't think I want to waste my money on it. It wouldn't truly be a waste, but I do think I'll be better off saving that money. All right, and we got another trip dealt to us. That is very nice. So we are going to discard these cards and try to get a pair, and we didn't. That is unfortunate. A flush is actually not much lower than the full house, so I will go ahead and save the diamonds and play the rest of them. Actually, I'm just going to discard them. No reason to play them. And we did get our flush, so we'll go ahead and play that. Let's see, we have 3 to a flush for both hearts and spades. Do we have any pairs? No. We don't really have a great straight draw. So let's look at this. We have more spades left in the deck than hearts. So let's go ahead and aim for spades. Okay. So now we actually have a better shot at clubs. So let's try for clubs. We are out of discards. This is looking like we probably won't make it to our goal just by how many hands we have left and how high the blind is. But there is still a chance with that dusk joker in play, so we won't give up quite yet. Let's see. It's not looking great. Not looking great at all. Let's try for another flush on our spades this time. Whatever we are dealt here, it will be our last hand. We did get our flush, so let's see with it re-triggering if it'll be enough. I honestly don't think it will be, but let's see. So like you see here, this card, or this joker, is re-triggering each card. It wasn't enough though. We did lose. And this little guy likes to taunt you every time you lose. So our best hand, we scored 428 chips. We played the full house the most. And we made it to ante 2, round 5. And we were defeated by the big blind. So that was not a great first run. But like I said, it is very RNG based. We did not get many jokers at all that game, let alone ones we wanted. So I think we're going to do one more run at the same level. This level is definitely hard. I've spent a lot of time trying to beat it, and I've not been able to yet. But I think I've just honestly had really bad luck at getting good jokers. more try though. I'm gonna start playing a little bit quicker now that everyone has hopefully been able to have the time to understand what is going on. I'm going for a full house here. I now have 3 pairs. Let's just continue with what I was doing. I'll play this, get the points off of the 8, and I'll try to get a full house with these. I was unable to. Let's keep the 9 in the jacks, and we'll discard these. There we go. That was a really good hand to start off with. Once you get late game, and especially if you get the chain of, like the combination of jokers that I would like to have, each hand you'll score thousands of chips. It gets crazy. This right here is what we really need. The buffoon packs. It just gives you jokers to choose from. And we actually got one of the jokers that we want. Perfect. Alright, maybe our luck is turning around. The half joker, plus 20 multiplier if played hand, contains 3 or fewer cards. So this plays very well with our end joker combination in mind. And it plays well in the beginning because we can easily use that to get through the first few levels. So like here, we'll play just our pair of 4s, and we might actually have enough with just this one hand to beat this blind, because it adds that 20 multiplier. Okay, so not quite, but almost. And all it took was a pair. So we are actually going to go ahead and just discard 5 cards to try to get another pair. We'll go ahead and do the flush. There we go. Oh, that was a straight flush and I didn't even notice. A straight flush is the best poker hand possible, and I didn't even notice we had it. Alright. Oh, I thought this was a buffoon pack, but it's not. Darn it. I got excited. I really thought our luck was turning around for a second there. We're just going to go ahead and go to the next round and save our money. Got a pair of 5s, so we'll play that. Got a lot of debuffed clubs right now that we're just going to discard. Okay. So we have 2 8s. One of them is debuffed. But what I'm going to try to do is discard this and get... I was hoping for another 8. We'll do the pair of 2s. And that's plenty. We honestly could have just played those 8s when we had them and it would have been fine. And we got a really good cash payout there. was hoping for at all. I actually don't like either of these cards, and they're actually bad because they're both eternal. And so that means that I can't get rid of them if I do get them, and I can only have a limited number of jokers. So I don't want to do that. I'm going to skip that. I'm going to not take either. You'll notice I keep checking each time we go into a new blind. There's the option to skip that blind, and that can give you different things. And so that's why I check it. The downside is that you lose out on money and the shop for that round. Got another pair, so I'm going to go ahead and play that. And we got aces, so I'm definitely going to play that. But see, with this half joker, how much easier it is to get higher score. We are relatively flying through it compared to last time. I will actually go ahead and buy this joker for now, just to have played aces, give 20 chips, and 4 multiplier. That's a very cheap, just nice little card to have. It doesn't make or break the game, like the run. No reason not to get it. It's a good bargain find. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to discard these and try to get 3 of a kind. I'm just going to keep trying to get a 3 of a kind. Does not seem like we're going to be able to. Let's try one more time. There we go. Because that'll give us a much higher base reward than just a pair. Combined with our multiplier, it is more than enough. There we go. Perfect. No jokers, so we're going to skip the store again. Okay, now this one is going to be tough. This one we can only play one hand. That is very tough indeed. So, our only real option here is to discard all of these and try to get another 10. Or best case scenario, 1 to 2 more, or 2 more aces. Oh, so we actually have a 4 of a kind, which normally would be really good. The problem is the half joker requires 3 or fewer cards, and so it would actually be more valuable to just play the 3 and get that extra multiplier. I am not confident, though, that that will be enough. That would be, let's see, 30, so 60 times 23. Is that enough? I'm horrendous at math. Just to be safe, I'm going to discard these and see if I can get an ace. If I can get an ace, I will be much more confident, but I didn't. So we're going to play these 3 10s and cross our fingers, hope it's enough. Let's see. Oh yeah, that is more than enough. I told you my math was terrible. Skipping that store again. And I think I might actually skip this store as well, or skip this blind. And by doing so, if we defeat the boss blind, we'll actually get an extra $25. And I think that's worth it. Alright. No pair. Actually, I take that back. We do have a pair. Let's go ahead and play that. Okay, now our blind is much higher now. I need to keep that in mind. At this difficulty level is scales, considerably higher and quicker. So I need to think about this. Because if I just play pairs, I don't think I'll get there. So what I really need to aim for is high pairs or 3 of a kinds. So let's discard basically all of those and try to get more of these. See, there we go, we got another ace. So that's really good. Let's try to get another one. Perfect. We'll play the 3 of a kind of aces. We'll get our 20 multiplier from this. And we'll get the extra 20 chips and 4 multiplier per card from this one. And that is incredible. Now I'm sure you can understand how important the jokers are and what a difference they make. Still no buffoon packs, which is very unlucky. Normally I get one at least every other store, and we've only had, I think, 2 this whole run. Alright, time for another boss blind. This one is going to discard 2 random cards each time I play a hand. So I'm going to go ahead and try to discard these and get trips of one of these. Perfect. Right there. That's what I wanted. Alright, so now we have trip 3s. I don't think it is necessarily worth. Well, actually, we will go ahead and play this because it will get us it'll get us a good amount of points, but because of how low value the cards are, it won't be a lot. But hopefully, with the discard, it'll get us a better pair. Apologies if you can hear my chair squeaking in the background. I have a bad tendency to bounce my leg, and this chair can be quite squeaky. Let's try to make a 3 of a kind with these queens. I'm going to check to make sure that's even possible. It is. Let's try one more time. Perfect. Now, hopefully, the random discard doesn't take one of our kings, because I'd really like to get another one. Okay, perfect. So hopefully now we will be able to get another king. Awesome. This will be the last. Oh no. Okay, no, we do have one more hand after this. So we're going to be cutting it close, but hopefully we'll be able to get it. Hopefully we'll be able to pull it off. Annoyingly, it did discard two of my twos, so that took away my trip. So this is the last hand we can play. Looking at it, I think it's actually going to be more valuable just to play the ace so that I also get the rewards from the scholar. Actually, we only need 200 points, so we should be a-okay with this. This definitely should get us there. Oh yeah, more than enough. We squeezed by on that one. And look at how much money we got from that because of skipping that small blind. Still no Joker pack. That's kind of crazy. But look at that. We are already more than twice as far as we were last time. Let's keep going. And could not have a better hand right off the bat. Now, unfortunately, that did only get us halfway. And we only get one of those each game. So that's a little worrying, no doubt. And we actually don't have a pair. So we're going to discard the bottom 5 cards and hopefully get something good. Okay, we're going to discard these 4 and try to get a king. Oh, well, we have trip 9s. We'll play that. We are going to be cutting it close again. We'll play those jacks. Thankfully, what is saving us is that we are getting very lucky with getting high value face cards. And there we go. We are cutting it way closer though, which is kind of scary. And we still are not getting the jokers we want, or even just any jokers in general. This one might not be a horrible one to have. Kind of like the scholar, it's just a good bargain find. Not needed, but it won't hurt us. So I think I'll go ahead and do it. It might be just enough to help us continue squeezing by. not as good of a first hand this time. We'll go ahead and play those. And we'll actually play all of these because I want my lowest card held in hand to be a king for that raised fist card. Oh, except I'm kind of dumb because doing that, I didn't get the half joker, so I should not have done that. I should have just played the kings. That was definitely a mistake. One that I do not want to repeat. That was a potentially very costly mistake. Indeed, I think it was. We are now very reliant on getting another ace. Alright, so we are nearing the end of our run because there is no possible combination that is going to get us the 9,000 plus required score here, so we're just gonna play this and let our run be over. It was a good run. We got halfway. Our luck ran out. I always forget about this guy, and he kind of jump scares me at the end every time. Just adds insult to injury. That was a good run, though. We had good luck getting that half joker at the beginning, but after that, our luck really just ran out. And that one joker can only get us so far. But with that, I think I'm going to end the video there. I appreciate you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed Balatro. I know I definitely do. It is one of my favorite deck rogue builder games. Or, I said that backwards. One of my favorite roguelike deck builder games. Hopefully it was satisfying. I feel like all the sounds in this game are meant to be satisfying. So I figured it would be a good choice to play. If you have any feedback, any questions, or requests, please let me know down in the comments. If you liked the video, please leave a like. And even if you don't have any questions or anything like that, leave an emoji down below for engagement sake to help push the video out there into the algorithm for others to see. I greatly appreciate you doing that. With that being said, I am going to go to bed. Hopefully you're able to get some rest and relaxation as well. And I hope you have a great rest of your night. Thank you.